Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another powerful and emotional story. It was a cold Thursday morning at one of the busiest airports in New York. Passengers rushed through the terminals, dragging suitcases, checking flight information, and trying not to miss their boarding calls. Among the thousands of travelers was Ethan Carter. Ethan was a billionaire businessman, known across the country for building one of the largest technology companies in America. People admired his success. Business magazines called him a genius. Investors trusted him. Employees respected him. But behind all the fame and fortune, Ethan carried a deep sadness. 2 years earlier, he had lost his wife, Olivia, in a tragic car accident. Since then, Ethan had raised their 6-year-old son, Noah, alone. No amount of money could replace the love Noah had lost. And no amount of success could heal Ethan's broken heart. That morning, Ethan held Noah's small hand tightly as they walked through the airport. "Dad, are we really going to California?" Noah asked excitedly. Ethan smiled. "Yes, buddy. After my business meeting, we're going to spend an entire week together near the beach." Noah's face lit up. For the first time in months, Ethan felt hopeful. Maybe this trip would bring them closer together. Maybe this vacation would help both of them heal. As they approached the security checkpoint, Ethan's phone suddenly rang. It was his assistant. "Mr. Carter, the investors are already waiting in Los Angeles. Please don't miss your flight." "I won't," Ethan replied confidently. But someone nearby was listening. Sitting alone near the entrance was a young homeless boy. He looked no older than 10 years old. His clothes were torn. His shoes were worn out. And despite the busy crowd surrounding him, nobody seemed to notice him. Nobody except Noah. "Dad," Noah whispered, pointing toward the boy. "Can we help him?" Ethan looked over. The boy sat quietly, staring directly at Ethan. There was something unusual about his expression. He looked frightened. Very frightened. Ethan reached into his wallet and pulled out some money. As he walked toward the boy, the child suddenly stood up. His eyes widened. "Please," the boy said nervously. "Don't get on that plane." Ethan froze. "What did you say?" The boy repeated himself. "Please don't board your flight." Ethan frowned. "Why?" The boy looked around anxiously. "I don't know exactly," he whispered. "But something terrible is going to happen." Ethan stared at him in disbelief. He had expected the boy to ask for money. Instead, he received a warning. "Son, do you know me?" Ethan asked. The boy shook his head. "No." "Then why are you saying this?" The boy hesitated. "Because I saw something." Ethan became impatient. "What did you see?" The boy lowered his head. "A dream." Ethan sighed. For a moment, he almost laughed. A dream? He was a billionaire CEO. His entire life had been built on logic, facts, and careful decisions. He didn't believe in dreams predicting the future. He handed the boy the money. "Thank you for your concern," Ethan said politely. "But we'll be fine." The boy refused to take the money. "Please," he begged again. "Don't go." Noah looked up at his father. "Dad, maybe we should listen to him." Ethan smiled gently. "Buddy, everything is okay." Then Ethan and Noah continued toward security. But as they walked away, Ethan couldn't ignore the uneasy feeling growing inside him. Something about the boy's voice had sounded sincere. Very sincere. 30 minutes later, Ethan and Noah were waiting at gate 27. Passengers filled every seat. Flight attendants prepared for boarding. Everything appeared perfectly normal. Yet Ethan couldn't stop thinking about the homeless boy. Noah noticed. Dad, are you worried? Ethan forced a smile. Not at all. Suddenly, the airport speakers crackled. Attention passengers. Flight 782 to Los Angeles has been delayed. Groans echoed throughout the terminal. Ethan checked his watch. A delay could ruin his entire schedule. His phone rang again. It was his assistant. The investors are becoming impatient. I understand, Ethan replied. 1 hour passed. Then another announcement came. Flight 782 has been delayed again. Passengers became frustrated. Some demanded explanations. Others complained loudly. No clear reason was given. Ethan felt increasingly uneasy. Finally, Noah spoke softly. Dad, can we go find that boy? Ethan looked surprised. Why? I don't know, Noah said. I just want to thank him. After a moment, Ethan agreed. They left the gate area and returned toward the main terminal. But when they arrived, the boy was gone. No sign of him remained. Only an old backpack rested on the bench where he had been sitting. Noah picked it up. Dad, I think this belongs to him. Inside the backpack, they found only a bottle of water, a sandwich, and a small notebook. Ethan opened the notebook. On the very first page, he found a sentence that made his blood run cold. Written in shaky handwriting were the words, "Save the father and the son before it's too late." Ethan stared silently. How could the boy possibly know he was traveling with Noah? Before Ethan could answer that question, alarms suddenly began echoing throughout the airport. People stopped. Everyone looked around in confusion. Then an emergency announcement thundered through the speakers. Attention all passengers. Due to a serious security threat, the airport is immediately shutting down. Please remain calm and follow airport staff instructions. Panic spread instantly. People screamed. Passengers ran in every direction. Security officers flooded the terminal. Every flight was cancelled. Every gate was closed. The entire airport had been shut down. Ethan stood frozen. The homeless boy had been right. To be continued. If you enjoyed this emotional story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with your friends. Turn on notifications so you never miss the next chapter. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and turn on notifications for more emotional and inspiring stories. The entire airport had descended into chaos. Passengers rushed through the terminals, desperately searching for information. Some were crying. Others were calling family members. Security officers ordered everyone to remain calm, but fear was spreading rapidly. Ethan Carter stood motionless, holding Noah close. The homeless boy had warned him. And now, the airport was shut down. Dad, Noah whispered nervously, the boy was telling the truth. Ethan slowly nodded. Yes, buddy. It looks like he was. For the first time in years, Ethan felt something he rarely experienced. Fear. Real fear. A few moments later, armed security officers began escorting passengers toward a secure waiting area. No one was allowed to leave. No one was allowed to enter. Hours passed. Finally, airport officials made another announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, authorities have discovered a serious security threat. Thanks to immediate action, everyone remains safe. Further details will be provided later. The room fell silent. People exchanged nervous glances. Ethan looked down at the notebook they had found inside the boy's backpack. Again, he read the message. Save the father and the son before it's too late. Who was this child? And how had he known? Noah gently tugged at Ethan's sleeve. Dad, we have to find him. Ethan looked into his son's eyes. For some reason, he agreed. You're right. As soon as authorities reopened certain parts of the airport, Ethan began searching. He spoke with security guards, cleaning staff, restaurant workers, taxi drivers. Nobody knew the boy. Nobody had seen where he had gone. Hours later, disappointed and exhausted, Ethan and Noah finally checked into a nearby hotel. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. He sat beside the window, staring at the city lights. His thoughts kept returning to the boy. Suddenly, Noah walked into the room. "Dad?" "Yes, buddy?" "Mom used to say that sometimes angels appear when people need help." Ethan smiled sadly. "Your mom believed many beautiful things." Noah looked serious. "What if the boy was sent to help us?" Ethan had no answer. The next morning, Ethan turned on the television. Breaking news filled every channel. Reporters revealed shocking details. Authorities had uncovered a dangerous explosive device hidden inside a cargo section connected to multiple outgoing flights. Experts confirmed that if it had not been discovered in time, hundreds of lives could have been lost. Ethan felt chills run down his spine. He looked at Noah. Both remained silent. Later that day, Ethan made a decision. He postponed every business meeting. For the first time in years, work no longer seemed important. Finding the boy mattered more. Days passed. Ethan used every resource available. Private investigators, security footage, even local charities. Finally, one investigator called. "Mr. Carter, I think we've found him." Ethan immediately drove across the city with Noah. The address led them to an abandoned neighborhood on the outskirts of town. Old buildings lined the streets. Poverty was everywhere. As Ethan stepped from the car, Noah suddenly pointed. "Dad! That's him." Standing near a small shelter was the homeless boy. The moment he saw Ethan, he looked frightened. He turned and ran. "Wait!" Ethan shouted. The boy stopped. Slowly, Ethan approached. "I just want to talk." The child hesitated. "My name is Ethan." "What's yours?" "Lucas," the boy answered softly. "Lucas, why did you warn us?" Lucas lowered his eyes. "Because I saw you." Ethan frowned. "What do you mean?" Lucas opened his small backpack and carefully removed an old photograph. Ethan froze. The picture showed Ethan and Olivia. It had been taken nearly 8 years earlier. "Where did you get this?" Ethan asked, shocked. Lucas looked nervous. "Your wife gave it to my mother." Ethan's heart nearly stopped. "My wife knew your mother?" Lucas nodded. Years earlier, Olivia had volunteered at homeless shelters throughout the city. She often brought food, clothing, and supplies. According to Lucas, Olivia had regularly visited his family. When Lucas' mother became seriously ill, Olivia paid for her treatment. But sadly, she eventually passed away. After losing his mother, Lucas had been forced to survive alone. Tears filled Ethan's eyes. He had never known. Olivia had never told him. Noah hugged Lucas immediately. "My mom helped you." Lucas nodded quietly. "She was kind." For several moments, nobody spoke. Then Ethan asked the question that had haunted him. "How did you know something bad would happen at the airport?" Lucas looked uncomfortable. "Ever since my mother died, sometimes I dream about people." Ethan listened carefully. "Most dreams mean nothing," Lucas continued. "But sometimes they come true." He explained that several nights earlier, he had repeatedly dreamed about Ethan and Noah boarding a plane. Each dream ended with disaster. Lucas became so frightened that he went to the airport every day, hoping to find them. Against all odds, he did. Ethan couldn't explain it. Logic couldn't explain it. But one thing was certain. Lucas had saved their lives. And perhaps many others. That evening, Ethan invited Lucas to dinner. It was the first proper meal Lucas had eaten in weeks. As they sat together, Noah laughed constantly. For the first time since losing his wife, Ethan felt something unfamiliar. Hope. Real hope. As dinner ended, Ethan looked at Lucas. "Would you like to come home with us?" Lucas looked stunned. "What? You shouldn't be living alone." Lucas immediately shook his head. "I don't want charity." Ethan smiled. "This isn't charity." Noah grabbed Lucas' hand. "It's family." Lucas burst into tears. Years of loneliness finally overwhelmed him. For the first time in a very long time, someone wanted him. Someone cared. Lucas quietly whispered, "Okay." But none of them realized that Lucas' journey was only beginning. Because hidden deep inside his backpack was a sealed letter left by his mother. A letter containing a secret powerful enough to change Ethan Carter's life forever. To be continued. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with your friends. Turn on notifications so you never miss part 3, ***.